The descent. The sharp ping of proximity alerts jolted Commander Ilara Shaw from her thoughts. She leaned forward in the captain's chair of the Terran vessel Audacity, her dark eyes narrowing at the holographic display. A massive shape emerged from the darkness of space, its surface shimmering with an eerie bioluminescence that pulsed like a heartbeat. "What the hell is that?" Lieutenant Marcus Reed whispered, his fingers hovering over the weapon systems. "Stand down, Lieutenant," Shaw ordered, rising from her seat. "First contact protocols. This is what we've been searching for." The Audacity had been on a routine patrol near the edge of Terran Republic space when they detected unusual energy signatures. Shaw had pushed their mission parameters, driven by curiosity, and the Republic's mandate to seek out new civilizations. Now, as the alien vessel approached, she wondered if she'd made the right call. "They're scanning us," reported Officer Talia Chen from the science station. "Pretty invasive scans, too. They're going right through our shields like they aren't even there." Shaw straightened her uniform. "Open a channel. All frequencies, universal greeting package." The alien vessel responded immediately, but not through communication channels. A blinding light bathed the bridge, and Shaw felt a strange pressure inside her skull. Images flooded her mind: stars, planets, paths through space, and creatures with elongated limbs and faceless heads. "There in my head," she managed, gripping the edge of her console. Around her, the crew showed similar signs of distress. "They call themselves the Voidwalkers." The mental contact ended abruptly, leaving Shaw disoriented but filled with urgency. "They want us to follow them. They have something to show us." "Captain, with all due respect, that doesn't sound like a great idea," Reed protested. "Noted," Shaw replied, making her decision. "But this is a first contact situation with potentially immense diplomatic significance. We follow, but keep weapons hot and shields at maximum." The Voidwalker vessel pulsed once and began moving toward a nearby system, its propulsion leaving no energy signature their sensors could detect. The Audacity followed at a cautious distance. "The system has a habitable planet," Chen reported as they approached. "Oxygen-nitrogen atmosphere, Earth-like gravity. Signs of advanced technology on the surface." As they entered orbit, the ship's systems began to malfunction. Lights flickered and alarms blared. "We're losing power," Reed shouted. "Something's draining our systems." Shaw grabbed the ship-wide comm. "All hands, brace for emergency procedures. Engineering, get me answers." Chief Engineer Kowalski's voice came through filled with static. "It's like something's rewiring our systems from the inside out. I've never seen anything like it." The Voidwalker vessel had positioned itself directly above the planet, emanating a strange field that engulfed the Audacity. "They're pulling us down," Shaw realized. Full reverse thrusters. But the Audacity was caught in an invisible grip, dragging them toward the planet's surface. Shaw made a split-second decision: abandon emergency drop protocols. Divert all power to the drop shields and landing struts. "We're going to ride this down." The descent was controlled chaos. Shaw's hands flew over the controls, working with Reed to maintain some semblance of a landing trajectory. The ship groaned and shuddered as atmosphere buffeted its hull. "Impact in 30 seconds," Chen called out, her voice steady despite the terror on her face. Shaw looked out at the rapidly approaching ground, forests and hills giving way to what appeared to be ruins of some ancient civilization. "Everyone, brace for impact." The Audacity slammed into the planet's surface, skidding through the remains of stone structures before coming to rest in a vast clearing. Emergency systems kicked in, containing fires and sealing breaches. Shaw pulled herself up from the floor where the impact had thrown her. "Status report. Is everyone all right?" One by one, her bridge crew responded. Miraculously, there were no serious injuries, though the ship was another matter entirely. "The Audacity is grounded, Captain," Kowalski reported after a thorough assessment. "Main power cells are drained. Life support is on backup, good for maybe 2 weeks." Communications array is damaged beyond field repair. Shaw stared at the tactical display, which showed the Voidwalker vessel hovering in the upper atmosphere. And our visitors. Just watching, Reed said, not making any moves. Shaw made her decision. Prepare an expedition team. We need to explore these ruins, find resources, maybe something to help us understand why we were brought here. Hours later, Shaw led a team of 6 through the ancient structures surrounding their crash site. The architecture was unlike anything in the Republic database. Flowing curves of a material that resembled both stone and metal, covered in symbols that seemed to shift when viewed directly. These readings are off the charts, Chen said, examining her scanner. The entire site is saturated with an energy signature similar to what we detected from the Voidwalker ship, but older. Much older. Shaw ran her hand along one of the walls, feeling a slight vibration. They'd brought us here for a reason. This place means something to them. As daylight began to fade, they established a base camp near the ship. Security perimeters were set up, and the crew began the work of salvaging what they could from the Audacity. That night, Shaw stood outside the camp perimeter, looking up at the stars. The unfamiliar constellations reminded her how far they were from home. The Voidwalker ship was still visible, a dark shape against the night sky. "Why did you bring us here?" she whispered. As if in response, the ground beneath her feet trembled. A section of the ruins nearby began to glow with the same bioluminescence as the alien vessel. Symbols appeared on the surface, pulsing rhythmically. "Captain," Reed called, rushing to her side with a weapon drawn. "You need to see this." Throughout the ruins, similar lights were activating, creating a network of glowing pathways that converged at a central structure they hadn't yet explored. "Wake the science team," Shaw ordered, "and get me Kowalski. Whatever's happening, it started when we arrived. These ruins recognize our presence." As the crew gathered equipment for an immediate expedition to the central structure, Shaw felt the same pressure in her mind that she'd experienced during the initial contact. This time, however, the images were different. Creatures being hunted, worlds burning, a desperate flight across the stars. When her vision cleared, Shaw knew with certainty, this isn't just about first contact. The Voidwalkers brought us here to warn us, or to use us. Either way, we're part of something much bigger now. As dawn broke over the alien landscape, Shaw led her team toward the glowing central structure, unaware that beneath their feet, ancient machinery was awakening. Machinery that would either be their salvation or their doom. Whatever happens, she told her crew as they approached the massive doorway that had appeared in the central structure, remember that we represent humanity and the Terran Republic. We adapt. We survive. We overcome. That's what we do. The doorway opened at their approach, revealing a chamber bathed in blue light, with a pedestal at its center. On the pedestal sat a device of unmistakably alien design, pulsing with power. "Be ready for anything," Shaw warned, stepping forward into the unknown. The Ascension. Commander Shaw approached the alien device cautiously, her team fanned out behind her with scanners and weapons at the ready. The pedestal hummed with energy, making the air around it shimmer like heat waves over desert sand. "What do we have, Chen?" Shaw asked, keeping her distance from the device. Officer Chen studied her readings with a furrowed brow. "It's communicating, Captain, sending out pulses of data on frequencies similar to our ship's systems. I think it might be what drained our power." Before Shaw could respond, a howling screech echoed through the chamber. The team spun around to see creatures pouring through the entrance, 6-limbed beings with iridescent scales and razor-sharp claws. "Defensive positions," Shaw ordered, drawing her sidearm. "Non-lethal if possible." The creatures moved with unnatural speed, climbing walls and leaping across the chamber. One lunged at Reed, who fired a stun blast that merely slowed the creature for a moment before it continued its attack. "Non-lethal isn't working, Captain," he shouted, switching his weapon settings and firing again. This time, the creature fell, but 3 more took its place. Shaw backed toward the pedestal, firing controlled bursts at the approaching threats. Fall back to the device. Form a perimeter. As the team retreated, Shaw felt her boot touch the base of the pedestal. Instantly, the alien device pulsed brightly, and a field of energy expanded outward, passing harmlessly through the humans, but sending the creatures flying backward. The chamber fell silent except for the heavy breathing of Shaw's team. "Everyone okay?" she asked, not taking her eyes off the prone forms of the creatures beyond the energy field. "What just happened?" Kowalski asked, staring at the device. "It's like it protected us." Chen's scanner beeped urgently. "Captain, the device is interfacing with my equipment. It's downloading our database." Before Shaw could order Chen to disconnect, the device projected a holographic display above the pedestal. Images flashed rapidly. Star charts, ship designs, and finally, footage of battles. Terran Republic vessels engaged with ships that resembled the Voidwalker vessel, but darker, more angular. "Those aren't the same aliens that brought us here," Reed observed. "Similar tech, different design philosophy." The holographic display stabilized, showing a simplified representation of the galaxy. 2 regions glowed with different colors. One blue, encompassing Terran Republic space, and one red, expanding from the far side of the galaxy toward them. "It's a war map," Shaw realized. "The Voidwalkers are at war with these other beings. They brought us here because we're next," Kowalski finished grimly. The device projected a new image, the planet they were on, with vast underground complexes spreading beneath the ruins. At specific points, weapons installations were highlighted, technology far beyond Terran Republic capabilities. "This planet is a fortress," Shaw said, understanding dawning. "The Voidwalkers built it as a defensive position against their enemy. But why bring us here?" The answer came as the device displayed the Voidwalker ship above them, damaged and leaking the same bioluminescent energy they'd observed. Next, it showed their own crash landing. And finally, a sequence of humans operating the planet's defense systems. "They're too damaged to use this place themselves," Shaw concluded. "They need us to activate the defenses." She looked around at her team. "And those creatures might be some kind of security system that recognizes us as unauthorized users." As if confirming her theory, the device projected instructions. Simplified schematics showing how to repair their ship using components from the ruins. "Chen, download everything." "Kowalski, start analyzing these repair specifications." "Reed, organize security teams to gather these components." Shaw's mind raced with possibilities. If we can get the Audacity operational again and understand this technology, we could bring critical intelligence back to the Republic. Over the next 24 hours, the crew worked tirelessly. The components they salvaged from the ruins integrated seamlessly with their systems, restoring power to the Audacity faster than Kowalski had thought possible. "It's like they designed this technology to be compatible with ours," he marveled as ship systems came back online. "Or maybe they modified our systems while we were in their tractor beam." Shaw supervised the operation from the central chamber, which they'd turned into a command post. The aliens hadn't returned, but the security creatures made periodic attempts to breach the energy field, growing more coordinated with each attack. "Captain," Chen called from her position at the device, "I'm detecting multiple objects entering the atmosphere. Configuration matches the hostiles from the historical data." Shaw accessed the newly integrated defense controls that now linked with the Audacity systems. "How many?" 7 ships, all larger than the Voidwalker vessel. "They'll be in weapons range in 10 minutes. Shaw opened a ship-wide channel. "All hands, battle stations. This is not a drill. We have multiple hostile contacts inbound." She turned to Reed. "Get everyone not essential to ship operations into the underground complex. If this goes badly, they'll have a better chance there." The enemy vessels descended through the clouds, their hulls black as space itself, bristling with what could only be weapons arrays. The Voidwalker ship, still damaged, rose to meet them but was quickly surrounded. They're sacrificing themselves to buy us time, Shaw realized. Chen, is there any way to bring the planet's defense systems online faster? Working on it, Captain. The power-up sequence is at 60%. 4 more minutes. The first enemy weapon strikes hit the Voidwalker ship, tearing through its hull. The bioluminescent energy dispersed like blood in water. 2 of the enemy vessels broke off and descended toward the ruins. They're coming for us, Reed reported. Our shields are at 80% with the new power systems, but I don't know if they'll hold against whatever those ships are packing. Shaw made her decision. We're not waiting. Kowalski, divert emergency power to the main engines. Reed, target the lead vessel with everything we've got. Chen, keep working on those defenses. The Audacity rose from the ruins, its newly integrated weapon systems glowing with the same bioluminescence as the alien technology. Shaw felt the ship respond to her commands with unprecedented precision, as if the ship itself had become an extension of her will. Fire, she ordered as they cleared the ruins. The Audacity's weapons lashed out, not the standard energy beams of Terran technology, but concentrated streams of the same energy that powered the ruins. They struck the lead enemy vessel, cutting through its shields like they weren't there. Direct hit, Reed reported, amazed. Their shields didn't even slow it down. The enemy vessel listed to one side, leaking darkness into the atmosphere. The remaining ships turned their attention to the Audacity, firing a barrage of energy weapons. Evasive maneuvers, Shaw ordered, feeling the ship respond instantly. Chen, those defenses. Online now, Captain. Transferring control to your station. Shaw's tactical display lit up with targeting solutions. The ruins below them hummed with power as massive weapon emplacements emerged from the ground, tracking the enemy vessels. Target all hostile ships, Shaw commanded. Fire at will. The planet's defenses erupted, joining the Audacity's assault. 3 enemy vessels were destroyed outright. The others attempted to retreat, but the weapons tracked them relentlessly. In less than a minute, the battle was over. The enemy fleet was destroyed, and the Voidwalker ship, though heavily damaged, still limped through the upper atmosphere. Open a channel to the Voidwalker vessel, Shaw ordered. When Chen nodded, she continued. This is Commander Ilara Shaw of the Terran Republic. We've activated your defenses and repelled the attack. We need to talk. For a moment, there was no response. Then, the same mental pressure Shaw had experienced before washed over her, but gentler this time. Images of gratitude and respect filled her mind, followed by a star chart, a path home. They're letting us go, she realized, with the technology and the knowledge. Reed looked skeptical. Just like that. After all this. No, Shaw said, understanding the images still flowing into her mind. They've shown us what's coming. They expect us to prepare, to join them when the real invasion begins. She looked around at her crew, seeing the same determination reflected in their eyes. And we will. The Terran Republic won't stand by while these creatures threaten intelligent life. 3 days later, the Audacity broke orbit, its systems integrated with salvaged Voidwalker technology. The ship moved with unprecedented speed and efficiency, carrying data that would forever change the Terran Republic's understanding of their place in the galaxy. In her private quarters, Shaw recorded her final log entry about the planet they were leaving behind. We came seeking knowledge and found a war. The Voidwalkers chose us specifically, tested us by forcing us to adapt and survive. They needed to know if humanity could face what's coming. She paused, looking at the star chart that would guide them home. Today, we proved that humanity doesn't just endure, we rise. We take what tries to destroy us and make it our strength. The enemy thought they found easy prey when they detected our ship. Instead, they found the one species in the galaxy that refuses to go quietly into the night. The Audacity jumped to faster than light speed, carrying with it the echoes of humanity's resilience and the promise of battles yet to come.